diabetes, hypertension, major risk factors for heart disease, and on the increase. Over 19 million people in the United States and Canada suffer from diabetes. 6.2% of the population in the U.S. and over 10% of the population in Canada. In response, more and more people are turning to natural treatment therapies. One of the most popular, Ontario-grown American ginseng. The use of Ontario ginseng, manufactured by companies like Mary Ginseng House, has increased fourfold in recent years, and it's starting to draw attention from the medical research community. Dr. Vladimir Vucsan, Associate Professor, Faculty of Medicine, Department of Nutritional Sciences at the University of Toronto, headed up a research team at St. Michael's Hospital.
Originally, what we knew about ginseng was 1,000 years of experience in Far East of use of ginseng to increase vitality, energy, immune function, and mental health. What was missing is randomized clinical trials.
John Sievenpiper is a member of the research team. He has seen a tremendous increase in the use of herbal therapies.
Increased approximately 68%, almost 70% between 1990 and 1997. And in the area of herbal therapy, which ginseng belongs, there has been an incredible almost fourfold increase in the use of herbal therapies, of which ginseng belongs.
Many of Dr. Vucsan's patients came to him with questions about alternative medicine. He decided to look into the matter by studying the effect of ginseng on diabetes.
Therapies, and we felt that we have to do some studies the way how we do other research to find the effect of ginseng, especially in the area of our interest, which was diabetes.
And our first study in this series of studies was published in the NIH.
4 years ago, Dr. Vucsan's research team was the first in the world to publish results linking the use of ginseng to the lowering of blood sugar, and awaken hopes that an alternative treatment therapy for diabetes might be found. 4 years later, after further research, Dr. Vucsan and his team were able to show that the long-term use of Ontario-grown American ginseng consistently lowered after-meal blood sugar. But that's not all. Now, long-term studies show that this ginseng also reduced hypertension, another major risk factor in heart disease. As a result, the Canadian Diabetes Association has now chipped in to fund a study on how ginseng reduces hypertension.
In the long-term study that we're conducting right now on the effects of Ontario-grown American ginseng in hypertension, we are using a molecular profile of the American ginseng that was effective previously in our last study. So we have now found a profile in the American ginseng that is effective in blood pressure control, and we are continuing with that same profile in the current study.
One of the key questions the researchers tackled was, what is it about Ontario-grown American ginseng that makes it so effective? To answer that, they delved into the composition of ginseng and found that there is a particular mix of active components in ginseng, known as the profile, that makes it effective. To be effective, ginseng must have at least 3.2% per gram of active ginsenosides, with two groups, protopenaxadiol and protopenaxatriol, in a ratio of approximately 2.44 to 1. This is good news for Ontario growers of ginseng, and for Mary Ginseng House in particular. Mary Ginseng House is a processor and distributor of Ontario-grown American ginseng that has worked closely with the U of T research team. Mary Ginseng House is a manufacturer of ginseng in Canada whose ginseng consistently matches and surpasses the profile described by Dr. Vucsan and his team.
We send our ginseng on an ongoing basis to University of Guelph Food and Science Department for ginsenoside testing. And our average of our ginseng capsules are 5.5% ginsenoside, as high as right now to 6.4% ginsenoside, which is equivalent to 64 milligram per gram. Our ginseng is also tested for impurity. Right now, compared to the marketplace, our ginseng is much more pure than most product on the market.
Mary Wong's ginseng has shown itself to be a very high standard and consistently standardized to have a specific profile of ginsenosides. We also found that its profile appears to mimic or be very close to the profile of the American ginseng, with which we repeatedly and consistently showed a lowering in after-meal blood sugar levels.
An important note, however, the University of Toronto research has no ties, financial or otherwise, to Mary Ginseng House. Their research is completely independent of any financial obligation or support from Mary Ginseng House.
We're very pleased to collaborate.
Because Mary Ginseng House ginseng is of a high standard and consistently matches the standardized profile identified by Dr. Vucsan and his team, they have recognized her expertise and highly recommend her ginseng.
Her ginseng is always high standard, locally grown American ginseng, and what is very important, has always standardized profile, which is one of the major problems in the industry of herbs.
The bottom line from the medical research community? We are very enthusiastic because we believe that ginseng stands a very good chance to become a serious alternative therapy treatment of diabetes and maybe other risk factors associated with heart disease. Besides running a business, Mary Wong, founder of Mary Ginseng House, has a personal interest in the health effects of Ontario ginseng. Years ago, she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, the very same type of diabetes Dr. Vucsan looked at in his research. This is why she started to develop ginseng products.
Although I grew up in a family where we wholesale ginseng, I did not take any ginseng until recently when I was diagnosed with diabetes.
She began to select certain Ontario-grown ginseng to help control her diabetic condition. She started to see herself changing in appearance, becoming slimmer. Her diabetes is now well under control, and her life is happier. Since then, she also helped relatives with different ailments, such as high blood pressure, cancer, colds, migraines, skin problems, and even overweight problems.
My mission is to reach as many people as possible who are truly in need, to help those people who are suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, to achieve better health, and for those men and women who wish to have better skin, to have better outlook.
And now, some of the people who have benefited from Mary Ginseng House ginseng. Dr. Zenith Zhu, a cardiologist from China, whose opinion on Ontario ginseng changed drastically when she gave some to her mother.
First of all, her blood pressure is much better controlled. Second, her blood pressure is not fluctuated like before. Formerly, when she took the other anti-hypertension medication, she had some side effect like headache and like itchiness. And now, since we reduce most of the anti-hypertension medication, and we use natural ginseng now, so she does not have side effect.
After years of suffering from severe migraines, Cheryl found that Mary Ginseng House Ontario ginseng helped alleviate her migraines.
And sometimes I'd be taking the medication 3 or 4 days in a row, and it would make me ill, especially after I'd taken it more than 3 or 4 times in a row. And sometimes it just wouldn't control it, and I'd be in a merge, and they'd have to give me the medication intravenously. And this medication was Imitrex. It was prescribed by a neurologist. And I was finding I just couldn't tolerate it. So I tended not to take it fast enough, for one thing. And then I started trying the ginseng. And I took, after about a month and a half, I found that the severity of the headaches and the duration of them was marked improvement. I now get mild headaches, still every couple months probably, but they're controlled easily with aspirin. I haven't been in the hospital on an occasion since I started taking the ginseng. So I'd say I had 2 really bad years before I started trying the ginseng. I've taken it for a year now, but it only took about maybe the first month before I noticed a difference. and I now get migraines far less frequently and far less severely. I'd probably get rid of it within the day, and I haven't had any episodes where I've had to go to the hospital since I've been on ginseng. I have more energy. I'm not. I tend to be a sleep in the morning person on the weekends when I have the opportunities, and I wake up earlier with, I'm not as tired all the time. So I haven't noticed any other side effects at all, other than the good ones.
Tom recovered much more rapidly than expected from treatment for colon cancer, thanks to Mary Ginseng House Ontario Ginseng.
So I had, I'd say, 60% of the intestine removed. The colon is gone. So I don't have to worry about colon cancer anymore because I don't have a colon. It was very bad and it was extremely debilitating. Lethargic, you couldn't do anything, you didn't want to eat. Of course, you were not allowed to drink any liquids, so that didn't help. And as I said, so that when I came out of hospital, I was a wreck, a complete wreck. I went through 2 to 3 relapses. There is, of course, no appetite, and your stomach depletes in terms of capacity. I found that even in the hospital, I was shuffling around, and this was simply put down to the fact that it was severe surgery. When I came out of the hospital on the 19th of January, I could barely walk and had to be assisted out of the car and around the house. Now, the doctor had stated that I was to recuperate for a minimum of 12 weeks, that there would be no significant change to the better for me, and that probably 6 months to a year before I was really back to where I had started before the illness. However, taking the ginseng, after a week, my appetite did return, and since then I've not looked back. After a 2-week period, I was up and about and able to carry on my normal office duties for my secular work, and from then it's been pretty good. And on that basis, if I hadn't taken the ginseng, I probably would have been a bit of a vegetable stretched out on a Chesterfield for a large number of months, and not productive, and it doesn't help your state of mind either. I'm about to start my 3rd round of chemotherapy. The people that I see when I go to the clinic, some look reasonably well, others look visibly quite ill. I was told that the side effects could be severe diarrhea, that I might have loss of appetite, and or that I might feel very, very nauseated and therefore not want to eat. Happily, because I'm taking the ginseng, these effects are not manifest. After a month, my appetite was fully recuperated, and I haven't looked back since. I do still continue to take ginseng, and I will continue to do that.